Hey there guys, how's it going? And thanks for checking out today's video. We've got some brand new gameplay from the Extinction DLC, which is due out on November the 6th. However, as of the time I'm recording this video on November the 3rd, there is a 24-hour studio wildcard live stream going on for Extra Life. Trying to raise money for Extra Life charity, and they are giving incentives such as increasing the official server rates, as well as doing extinction reveals and some giveaways. So I'd highly recommend going over there if you're actually watching this video on November 3rd. I'll put the link in the description of the video. Now, what is most interesting is that this gave us a look at some things we've never seen before, and I'm sure a lot of you might have seen this on the stream. However, there's quite a few things that I picked up that I'd like to point out that some of you might not have noticed. The first thing to note is they actually brought up the map when they spawned in, so you actually get to see an overview of the map, and I'll bring it up on screen now. Now, they said on stream that the map is huge. They didn't go into any kind of description as to how big it is compared to other maps, but looking at this spawn-in screen, I'd have to agree that it looks massive. You can just tell by the way it's laid out and the detail that's on the map that it is a very, very big map. They also suggested that there's a lot of verticality in this map, which means the highs and low points, similar to how Aberration has a lot of verticality to it. So obviously that increases the playable area of the map and makes it even larger. So looking here at the spawn regions, you can see that the city is actually the recommended place to spawn in. This means it's where you're going to find all the low level dinos, or not even just low level, I guess, the less dangerous dinos like your stegos, dillos, parasaurs, all that kind of stuff. Maybe a few dangerous things wandering around, but for the most part it's the recommended spawn, which means it is the quote-unquote easiest place to survive. So this is kind of interesting. I actually thought that the city might be a high-end kind of end game place to go, but it seems like it's the safe area, a bit like the beaches on the island or the fertile land on Aberration. Looking down the spawn region list, you can see another place there is called Crater Forest. That has a central, east, west, upper and lower zone to it. I really like forests in Ark. They normally look really, really nice, and obviously they're great for supplies and all kinds of stuff. This sounds like a very interesting area that I definitely want to check out, because the other two areas are just called desert and snow, and obviously there's desert and snow in other maps, so you'd have to presume that that's just going to look similar to the desert areas and the snow areas in the other maps. Who knows, it might not. It might look completely different, really exciting and just a really nice area to be in, but the Crater Forest sounds a little bit different, so I definitely want to check that one out. Leave me a comment down below letting me know the first place that you're going to spawn in when you load up Extinction. Are you going to go for somewhere hard to spawn just to explore? Are you going to go single player? I think I'm going to build my first place in the Crater Forest. Not sure what part, I'll have to have a look around, but it sounds exciting to me. So I'll go over what they're actually doing in this gameplay footage, as well as tell you about a few things that I picked up just from watching it that you might not have noticed. If you're interested, they are actually still in the central city area here, which is interesting because you can see they're not surrounded by a city landscape, but this is still called City Central. So just that whole concept makes it look absolutely huge, because you can see the city area does look quite far in the background, and this is still considered the center of the city. So what they're doing here is they are trying to secure this Orbital supply drops. These supply drops are brand new to Extinction, and some of you might have seen some footage from TwitchCon last week where they showed people trying to fight off a purple Orbital supply drop. This is a blue one, not as difficult as the purple one. If you saw that footage from TwitchCon, the purple one looked very, very difficult. Lots of wyverns and really aggressive, large, hard to kill dinosaurs, but obviously I'm sure it gives you much, much better loot. For demonstration purposes here, I guess they're doing a blue one, which as you can see is stegos, dillos, raptors. Well, raptors can be kind of annoying, and they're able to fend these off with just low level kind of primitive stuff, although obviously they do have some trouble here, as you can see from the gameplay, but just bows and arrows and whatever. Now these supply drops seem to have similar stuff to them as you'd expect in, say, a cave drop of the same color. If we actually go to the end of the video, or if I just highlight that section, you'll be able to see that they get a Mastercraft sickle from this, which is actually quite a good drop, and an apprentice sword. Well, blueprints for those things anyway, so those things aren't bad at all. Better than a normal blue drop, but it's not anything too ridiculous. So if you hadn't noticed or seen from previous gameplay, to get these orbital supply drops, you fight off the waves of NPCs or corrupted dinos. They will actually damage the shield, and they're trying to damage that shield. Once they damage that shield, I presume they can then damage the pod itself, because they did say that other players could damage the actual drop itself as well. So if you're going to be fighting in PvP, you might want to be wary of that. But once you fought all of them off, you can then go up to the supply drop and it will release all of its goodies. So the first thing that I noticed from this gameplay, and that you might have missed it, is that when someone killed a corrupted dino, if they harvested it, they actually got a corrupted node as well. Now we haven't heard much about this. All we know is that the corruption whole thing, and I guess the whole idea of element being corrupted, and I think there's like broken element in this, or like unstable element, something like that. But you get these corrupted nodes from killing these dinos, so you'd have to presume that that's something that you can collect to either craft something or that you use to power something. But it's something I'd not seen before, and just seeing that you got that made me think, oh, maybe you are going to have to go and farm corrupted dinos to collect that resource to then do something else. Something else interesting that you might not have noticed while watching the stream, or that you won't know if you haven't perhaps seen this gameplay before, is the guy who was playing picked up some cryopods. Now cryopods have the description of you can encapsulate a dino in there and then you can throw it out to actually make the dino come out of the cryopod. So it's like a way of transporting your dinos. I don't really know the ins and outs too much, but that's what it said on the description. Now something that's interesting that wasn't mentioned previously is that these obviously have a timer on them, so they're not like long term. The ones he picks up, after he picks them up, only have 49 minutes left on, and I think that was just after he picked them up. So they have a 50-minute timer on them, which is quite interesting to me, because it makes me think, are there going to be upgraded versions of this that last longer, or is that just how it works for all of them, and how's that going to affect how you actually use them? So something we didn't really know before for certain, but these cryopods, they don't last forever, they do eventually expire. So that kind of covers everything I managed to gauge from that gameplay. I hope you guys found it interesting and useful, and of course entertaining. If there's anything else that we see during the live stream, or any kind of information I can glean from it, I will upload another video telling you guys all about my thoughts and things that you might have missed. So make sure, of course, if you're subscribed, to have notifications on so you can learn as much as possible about this Extinction DLC for when it hits, because we all know the more you know about the map, the more that's going to put you in an advantage on day one when you get out there. So that's it for now, guys, but there is going to be some more of my content linked on screen at the end of this video if you want to check out some more of my videos today, and I'll see you all next time.